Welcome to the Architect's Blueprint. We're here to turn those messy, complex problems into clean, actionable plans. All right, let's just get right into it. I've got a serious question for you. Is there a little time bomb ticking away inside your Google Apps script right now? You know, the kind that's just waiting to go off the second your client decides to actually use their system at scale? Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about how to stop building scripts that are, frankly, designed to fail from the get-go. And we're pulling this gem from an exclusive look at a book that isn't even out yet. It's called Boring Problems, Big Money. So a huge shout out and thank you to the author, the ex-freelancer, for letting us get a sneak peek. So let's talk about what I call the freelancer's time bomb. This is that classic trap, right? You build a script, maybe it calls out to an external API, it works flawlessly when you test it on, say, 10 rows. Client's thrilled. But the minute they throw 500 rows at it, boom, the whole thing just dies. And listen, that's not a bug. That is a deep, fundamental flaw in the architecture. The book has a great name for this, the N+1 Disaster. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You make one request to get your list of, 500 things. That's the +1 part. And then you make 500 times more requests. The N, one for every single item on that list. It is, no exaggeration, a recipe for total disaster. I love the analogy the book uses here. Think about it. The freelancer's way is like sending a bike messenger out on 500 separate trips to deliver 500 packages. It's insane, right? Slow, expensive, just inefficient. The architect's way? You give that one messenger all 500 packages for one trip. Every time you put url_fetch_app.fetch inside a loop, you are literally choosing to send that messenger out 500 times. And all of this runs you straight into what the book calls this 6-minute wall. This isn't a suggestion. It's a hard, non-negotiable law in Google's world. You get 6 minutes of execution time, period. Each one of those slow, individual network calls is just chewing up your clock. It's not a question of if your script will fail. It's just a matter of when it hits that wall. And here's the real-world cost. Your execution time, it just skyrockets. You're going to slam right into that 6-minute wall, no doubt. But it gets worse. Think about your quota usage. You are just incinerating your daily API call limits. So even if by some miracle the script finishes today, it's probably not going to run tomorrow. Your failure rate doesn't just go up. It becomes practically guaranteed. Okay, so how do we fix this disaster? Well, the architect's solution is beautiful. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's a single method. url_fetchApp.fetchAll. This is the pro move. We stop doing things one by one, and we start batching everything to run in parallel. And the process is so straightforward. First, you just loop through your data, but instead of making a call, you just build an array of request objects. You're just preparing all the orders, right? Then, step 2. You make one single powerful call to url_fetch_app.fetchAll, and you send the whole batch at once. Google handles all the heavy lifting in parallel on their end. And finally, you get a nice, neat array of responses back to process. It's clean, it's simple, and it's built to last. Look, the big takeaway here isn't just about changing one line of code. It's a complete mindset shift. It's about stopping the brute force one thing after another kind of work and starting to build smart, leverage systems, the kind of systems that are designed for scale right from the very beginning. And I want to leave you with this idea, which really gets to the heart of the book's philosophy. The freelancer, they trade their time for compute cycles, and they always hit that 6-minute wall. But the architect builds an engine, a leveraged asset that just runs reliably while they sleep. So I'll ask you again, which one are you building?